Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. Hothead Deck of Fate was the guaranteed Raphael event, so everyone who completed deck got Raphael, and I really wanted Raphael on all of my accounts. So I grinded through this deck 3 times on 3 different accounts. And in this video I'm going to tell you everything I learned about completing decks of Fate, about these grinds, and whether I would do that again. First, thank you Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video and for giving me this wonderful promo link if you want to start Raid. Down below in the description there in the QR code, a new account with Deacon Armstrong after the tutorial, Uugo at 15, Tagoar at 20, Mausoleum Mage at 30, the best possible start to Raid. But this Hothead Deck of Fate, so guaranteed event for Raphael. Turtles are wonderful, I love turtles, I love the team, and also they are really strong, so if your account is like maybe a year old, up to a year old, up to 2 years old, this can actually be very useful for you. And this one, the deck points came from summoning souls from soulstones and then getting artifacts and accessories, gear hunters, previously known as dungeon divers. And I grinded through this event on 3 accounts. And let's take a look at all the secrets to completing a deck of Fate. Because you really needed to complete the deck of Fate to get Raphael. There were 21 cards with Raphael fragments in them, in a deck of 40 cards, and that means that even if nothing is rigged, then the probability to find all 21 Raphael fragment cards, more than half of the players would have to turn every single card in order to get all the Raphael fragments. Luckily, there is a very easy way to complete this deck, because you just open your Altar of Souls, you open the right number of soul stones to get the points you need, then you flip open all the cards. If you need more soul stones, you buy them from the shop and you're done. Alas, my path was not this path, it was something else. Because the real working man's secret to this deck of Fate, and to many other decks of Fate if they have a Gear Hunters component, is the Event Dungeon. Event Dungeon Stage 3 gives 1.243 points per energy. That is 25% better than doing something like Dragon 20, and that's slightly over 4 points per gem spent. So if you need to get this done with the lowest amount of resources spent, Event Dungeon Stage 3 is your friend. And also speed. Mikey, many other champions do, but I used Mikey on all of my accounts. Mikey one-shot the boss in 1 second. And then I brought 4 food along for the ride. So it was just Mikey killing the boss and instantly clicking replay, 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 replay. I heard some people claim that, hey, you're gonna get banned for this. I don't know if that's true or not, but I can tell you that I grinded a lot on 3 accounts and none of those accounts got banned. So I think maybe in order to get banned, you need to do a little bit other than just manual clicking. And I was able to burn through around 250 energy per minute. So if you think that, okay, you're going to have to spend something like up to 20,000 energy, assuming that you have at least some souls already, then at 250 energy per minute, that's 1,000 energy every 4 minutes. Then doing the math, and actually it doesn't take that long to just click through and boom, 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 and you're done. However, I was also farming food, and I was farming so much food, and the vast majority of my time was actually spent arranging my food. I was running out of shards as well. I was running out of mystery shards, so I started farming food from 1 stars with energy instead of doing them with brews, because I just didn't have more champions. And the account that had the least souls, I ended up with 25 level 1 4-star food and 35 level 30 3-star food, because I also ran out of 3 stars that I could feed. And yeah, so that's going to be a couple of 6 stars in the near future as an upside, because that looks pretty sweet. I spent between 4,200 and 6,000 gems per account. A full only energy grind would have been something like 9,000 something, but I had some souls saved. I tried to save some souls, but obviously I had to do more than half of the deck with gems. But, well, that's still a lot of gems, so how did I get all of those gems? Is this the shop again? And the answer is sort of. I did spend up to 24 euros on this, because some of my accounts had 2 daily gem packs worth of gems saved. So if you're a low spender, you want to always have a daily gem pack rolling, even if you're not spending the gems. And preferably, actually, you don't want to spend the gems, because you want to save them until you get to a point where you can do something fun with them, like getting Raphael. Well, probably you also want to spend some so that your progress is smooth. But so the gems that I spent, roughly 50-50 spread daily gem packs from past months, and then gem mine, that's 450 per month. Tournaments, other rewards, those actually turn out to give you surprisingly many gems in the end. So yeah, daily gem pack, saved gems, that's what got me through. And as for how many cards did I need to flip, well, the first deck of fate with my best account spent around 4,200 gems, so I got through halfway with souls. I also got some good soul rolls, and then I sold some of those souls and bought more soul stones with that, and got a little bit more than half of the deck completed. 4,200 gems, got the 3 epic fate, just always pinned everything, didn't manage to get any rares or uncommon chests, and Raphael was the last card, the very last card. Then on the second account, I spent around 5,500 gems. I got 3 epic fate chests. I also got 2 rare fate chests on this account. This account was quite on a roll, got some pretty sweet results. And Raphael was the very last card again. Yeah, ouch. But I mean, more than half of the time that happens. And the third account, the one that I struggled with the most, I spent around 6,000 gems on this one. I got 3 epic fate chests on this one as well. And Raphael was the last card. Ouch. So on all 3 attempts, I had to flip all 40 cards in order to get Raphael. But in the end, I did, and some of those fate chests were pretty sweet. I got like a feast out of one of those, for example. I got 500 gems on one account, so a little bit easing the burden. So some pretty good stuff came out of those, but obviously it was still a major investment. So after all this, would I do it again? The biggest surprise I had was the amount of work I had in arranging my food, because there was so much food and all the time just upgrading and getting more food and upgrading, getting more food, and hundreds of champions passed through my hands. I had not really properly managed to anticipate that. The event dungeon, I had tested that, and I knew that the event dungeon, I would just fly through that. 1 second, boom. But the work on the food was a lot. So I wouldn't really recommend going through this for just any deck of fate, but if the price is just right, like this time there was a turtle as a price, then why not? It is definitely one way that you can get deck of fate done, even as a low spender. Would you be able to do this as free to play? Well, rarely. Yes, you would, but that would take even more saving than I had been capable of, so yeah, you would need obviously the souls or shards. Shards are easier to save typically, and then you would still need a lot of gems. But you can also gather quite a few gems as free to play, but this is more like a low spender approach, where you get some gems from the gem packs, and that will just help you push through and achieve the goals that you want to achieve in this game. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.